How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, the founder of the Hard Gainer Academy. And what I'm going to be talking about today, does beef make you fat? So I got this question. The gentleman was telling me, hey, I like to have my steak, I like to have my hamburgers, and so on. I'm like, okay. But he wants to know, is it the reason why he is not in the shape he wants to be? So we're going to be talking about that for today. So just to kind of clear the air here, as far as beef, it is a particular type of food that will count towards your overall calorie intake or the amount of food that you eat for the entire day. And like what we usually speak about is that if you eat more food than your body actually burns in a day, then you're going to gain weight. So just because you had a piece of beef, it doesn't mean that you're going to be fat. There's also different cuts of beef that we can also look at. So for example, when you go inside the grocery store, you'll see ground beef and then you'll see extra lean ground beef. So depending on which one you choose, the leaner cut will have less calories. So let's say, for example, you are always having extra lean ground beef, right? And then you said, well, you know what? I'm going to get the regular ground beef. So if you'd made that switch and you were still eating a particular way and you ended up putting on weight, it's because of the extra fat that is in the regular ground beef. But this is assuming that you were eating the same and you just made that one particular change. It also depends on the amount of beef that you were eating as well. So this is one of the things you really need to take a look at in your overall meals for the entire day. Because at the end of the day, you could be eating, let's say, about like 2 steaks. Let's say, for example, you have 2 steaks for the entire day. And let's just say outside of those 2 steaks, you maybe had some salad or you had some veggies. Then as far as your overall calorie intake for the day, then there's a good chance you could still be in a particular zone in regards to where you might be actually losing fat. And in another case, you could be building muscle. It's always going to be different for each and every person. One particular food is not going to make you fat. So let's talk about a hamburger. When you're having a hamburger, there's a lot of things that come with that hamburger. We're looking at the bun, the condiments you put on it, the ketchup, the relish, whatever the case may be. You might add some other stuff on there. Those things are extra calories overall in general. So if you compare that big hamburger, or whatever size it is, and let's say, for example, we look at, like, let's take a piece of steak. So that piece of steak is just a steak in itself, and that is it. Depending on the cut that it could be, whether it's a sirloin, it's a ribeye, or it's a T-bone. You guys can probably tell that, I know a lot about my steaks. But you can kind of see where I'm coming from here. It's that one steak, that one piece of meat you're eating alone, as opposed to, let's say, for example, when you're having a hamburger, you got to have it with the bun. And this goes for things also with chili and so on like that. You got to account for all of those extra ingredients that you're actually using. Also, we also got to look at the behavior. So when you're eating beef, there's a potential chance that you could be eating something else with it. So for example, a lot of times when you guys, if you're not aware already, on Facebook, I like to do Nacho Wednesdays. So a lot of times when people are eating nachos, they're eating other food with it that is not so healthy. So in this case, I'm having extra lean ground beef, and I'm having the chips along with it. Also on top, some cheese and so on. So of course, as far as overall calories or the amount of food is going to be more because I'm having extra lean ground beef, which is particularly 2 nachos, right? So that's another thing that we need to take a look at. So the culprit is just not beef. Beef will not make you fat. Eating in excess will make you fat or make you get bigger. So if you're a skinny guy and you're trying to put on some weight, you're trying to put on some size, then beef can help you do that along with eating food with it, right? If you're just going to be eating beef and that alone, then that is not good. You are going to be deficient in regards to nutrition, all right? Another thing is, if you decide that, hey, you want to go with the leaner cuts, just because you're going with leaner cuts, it does not mean that you shouldn't keep track of what you're eating or tracking your calories overall in general. Because we know when you keep track of things and you have an understanding of how much you're supposed to eat, then you will get to your goals faster. So the next time someone comes across and says, well, I don't eat beef, that's how you get fat, or that's how you put on a lot of weight, direct them to this video so they can be educated on the fact of, hey, a particular food will not make you gain weight. It's your eating habits, your eating behavior, and your lifestyle and the amount of food that you eat will have a bigger impact. As again, it all comes down to energy at the end of the day. I hope you found this video helpful, and you know how we do. If you watched my last video, that wasn't how we do, but I'm signing out. It was great talking to you guys, and I'll be back on tomorrow. Peace.